Hey everyone, Lenny Pinna here again at my home in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. As you may know, I came back from Cleveland with several candles to review, and the reason these candles were chosen, most of them, was to identify maybe some of the scents that weren't showing up or which ones were a little weak, and to see what happens when they were burned, what would happen. So Bonnie and I had reviewed the Goose Creek Summer Dessert Collection, and there were a couple of candles that we selected for me to take home. One was the Apple Cheesecake Cupcake, and the reason I brought this one was because I detected the apple, but I didn't detect any of the cheesecake or the cupcake part of it. And this orange cream sherbet I brought back because this one I did delight in. I mean, the scent was strong and it had that dreamsicle kind of quality, and I was actually anxious to burn it. So this will be interesting in the comparison and contrast between the cold smelling of them and the burning. Before I get started, I just want to mention that I picked some peach-colored roses from my garden to accompany the pink peony, and I thought that they would complement today's video. So I'm going to start with the Apple Cheesecake Cupcake. Reminding you the ingredients are sweet apple topping, cheesecake custard filling, frosted vanilla cupcake, and it's a little more balanced than it was when we first reviewed it because it's been burnt since. That first whiff when I was with Bonnie was kind of like a sharp green apple, fresh, and it was really nice. But I wasn't getting any of the cheesecake, the cupcake, the vanilla. It just was more of the apple. And so I was really curious what would show up. So I lit this candle yesterday, late afternoon, evening. And I found that it took a little while, but within a little bit of time, the layers started to show up. A little bit of the warm cupcake, a little bit of the vanilla. The cheese custard, wasn't quite sure, where that was fitting in, but I definitely was starting to sense more, which was really nice because, like I said, I had only gotten the apple when I had sniffed it cold. I let it burn for a while. I'd say it had maybe a medium scent. The throw wasn't huge, but I did detect a little bit upstairs as well. And as I walked around, again, I was getting this mild sort of cupcake and apple, and the cheese maybe was coming along. After I blew it out and waited a while, I wasn't really detecting it in the air. But when I went back to smell the candle after it was cooled again, those layers had actually integrated a little bit, so it was more than just the apple. So I thought that was interesting. On the other hand, I have now orange cream sherbet, and those ingredients are juicy orange, sugared peach, and creamy vanilla. Now, when Bonnie and I reviewed this, immediately I got this bright orange and sweet peach combination that was just really captured my senses immediately, and I thought, oh, I can't wait to review that. So this morning, this one was this morning, I lit this and took the lid. Immediately this big scent came out, and it was that scent of the orange and sweet peach right away. And it was interesting though, but I kept coming back to it a couple of times, and the peach seemed to be dissipating. I thought that was interesting. So then I lit the candle, and it took a while before I was really sensing it in the air. And I lit it here downstairs, and I wasn't feeling like the throw was really giving me much. So I took it upstairs and I put it in the bathroom, a smaller room, to see if in that setting that I would get more. And I did. It's interesting. Somehow this scent, when it's tight, it gets stronger, and I actually could smell it and detect it outside the bathroom, actually quite further. So it was really interesting. When it was in a wider environment, I wasn't getting as much, but when it was in a smaller environment, even out of that smaller environment, I was getting much more of it. Here's the interesting thing. I was really excited about this candle because I loved dreamsicles when I was younger, and I was really hoping it was going to be that kind of candle. It's interesting that the sweet peach, for me, totally drops out. and the cream, the cream of the sherbet starts to disappear as well. What I detected mostly was kind of a strong, actually slightly bitter rind, dark orange rind, and the sweetness dropped out and the peach dropped out. That was really interesting and maybe even a little disappointing, because it was really interesting that I, on first go round, this candle was less interesting to me. I was just going to see what showed up. I relit it again after the orange sherbet, so I wanted to see what would happen again. I lit this one downstairs in an open space. It does throw better in an open space, and it's interesting. It keeps growing. I actually started to feel like I was getting the fuller amalgamation of the cupcake, the cheese custard, and the apple. And the apple now wasn't as sharp. So it was all started to get rounder, richer over time. And so the surprise is this is the one I was not as interested in, and I actually became more interested and liked more. This one that I really was interested in, sort of disappointed in that most of it dropped away and left me with this sort of dark, slightly bitter rind, strong, just like a strong rind. And so that's my take on these two candles from Goose Creek, and I will have more candles from Goose Creek later next week, and I'll have a few more candles as well. So thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.